Ooh.
So welcome to this Resilience Cafe this week, where we have
Resilience with a capital R.
Sharon and Jim and Anna. Thank you so much for volunteering to host what is going to be a very exciting conversation. I mean, combining speed dating and legacy and inquiry, I am intrigued. Yeah, so welcome. Sharon, would you like to do a grounding exercise to help us all get into the Zoom, so to speak?
Yes, I'm just thinking some people are struggling to get in. They can't remember the password, but we did send it out.
It's resilience.
Yeah. Is it possible for you saw the email today that came out. Could you just send another email, Celine, while I do this, just so that...
Yes, sure.
And also the number, the Zoom number again.
Okay.
The number and the password, yeah. Just tell them to go into Zoom and to type that password.
Great.
Hi, Fritz.
Hi, Fritz.
Hi, Fritz. I don't know you, but I feel like I do.
Great.
We've been hanging out in this room every Thursday for a good few weeks now. I was kind of like, what happened to Fritz? He's not here.
Hi, Fritz.
Okay, so guys,
Fritz, you're on mute.
Yeah. You're on mute, Fritz.
There's something wrong with male voice these days.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm so glad that somebody misses me at last, you know.
Oh.
I'm still busy having lunch. I hope it's not going to be a problem.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, so if you could just put your lunch down for 2 seconds, we're just going to do a quick meditation, a grounding meditation, just to get us going. So if you could all just sit back in your chairs for a moment and just take this as a little gift of respite. Just noticing opportunity as we connect together again. So deep breath in and a sigh. Just kind of consciously release tension as you sigh. So breathe in. And last time in. Close your eyes and just release. So let's just take this moment to focus now firstly on the outer world and listen to every sound that we can hear in the body and outside of the body. Just tune into that. Now gently just take your focus inside the body. And in your own time, just scan from the top of your head through to the bottom of your feet and just notice what's going on in your body. There might be tension, there might be pain, there might be emotion. Just scan your body from the top, one piece at a time. Breathing deeply, noticing the breath. And let's just become aware of what we're feeling right now and what we're thinking. And let's just honor those that are prepared to share and to support, and for us to be there as a support network as well, as we make new friends and as we reach out to each other during this conversation. Wonderful opportunity for reconnections and for first-time connections, as like-minded people come together just to share the space together. So just bring yourself back into your chair now, back with us. Gently come back. Open your eyes. Thank you. So Jim and Anna, over to you.
Ooh. I guess I'll begin by first just thanking both of you, Sharon and Celine, for having us. We're thrilled to be here and to begin, well, to share a little taster of what Jim and I do together. Typically, it's a live room that we share this values, why, and legacy connection with, and more often over 2 to 3 days. So this will be a very succinct, fun way of connecting to what Celine alluded to last week, the 3 Ps. What did you call it, Celine? The 3 Ps of resilience. So
Yeah.
pause, pivot, and practicing purpose. So we're going to just continue the practicing purpose component of this. Yes, I'm Anna Healy, and together with Jim, we've created a little boutique coaching and consulting company, and we have all the fun in the world when we get to dance together and share what we love doing. So, Jim.
Great. Thanks, Anna. So we've been digging into and exploring the topic of legacy and what legacy might mean for a number of years now. And in that, we've got some pictorial representations we'd like to share with you on that. In essence, it's an ongoing inquiry of life's purpose and what all of that richness entails. And our purpose today is to really kind of explore with you, introduce with you the link between values, why, and legacy. And do you have the
first slider?
Yeah.
With me as I play this slide sharing game.
So we have so we're very blessed in our company because we have an artist in residence.
It's the COVID artist in me.
Yes. And I'm a fan of crayons, and Anna's a technology guru, and so this is a combination of a new and improved version of crayons. But what this is intended to capture is the notion that really legacy is not something that's an end destination, but rather something that you live throughout your life, whether or not you're mindful or conscious of it or not. And what we're attempting to do with our practice is to bring awareness to people that whether or not they accept it or not, or are mindful of it or not, we all have a legacy we've already created, and we're creating a legacy right now in this moment based on how we show up. And we will create a legacy with the rest of our lives. And that legacy is like a storybook. It has many different versions. And today we're going to explore some of those versions. So with that, and of course, it is a bit of a winding trail, as we all know, that life has its twists and turns and ups and downs, but it is also being mindful of all those connections, and also where it doesn't connect and where intentional decisions are made. So, Anna, back to you.
Okay, so I'm trying to change the slide. And it's not moving. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
This one. There. So I'm going to begin by sharing a model of how we've connected values, why, and legacy. So for Jim and I, legacy is a manifestation, the extra expression of our why, our purpose that we're practicing. So this why, our reason for being, is truly grounded in our values, who we are at the core. So I'm just going to give you a moment to just let this model just soak in, and then we'd love to hear from a few of you what comes up. What does legacy mean to you in this moment?
Yeah, the first thought that came to my mind was that, you know, is legacy really something at the end, or is it something that's with us every day, that every day we're leaving a little legacy, or is it something that we strive towards, or is it something that we live every day in our being?
Yeah, I think our stance on that is that legacy and it has multiple stories. Your life legacy has multiple stories, and you've got one you've already created, many stories you've already created with your life. You've got stories you're creating now based on how you show up and engage with the world, and you've got choices of what you will create with the rest of life. So, you know, it's about a life narrative, which sometimes connects and sometimes doesn't, because of the choices we make or the choices we don't make. So I think our stance would be that it is that whole notion that it is living. The question of how many of us are actually conscious of the stories that we're creating and the life legacy story that we aspire to.
May I ask a question? Why is the word why used in that second band? Because I understand purpose and self being attached to values, and purpose and universe with legacy, but I'm not making the link with purpose and others as why.
I don't. There's 3 words at the bottom linked to the 3 bands. Maybe not.
Okay.
You want to take that, or you want me to take that?
I think we can both play around with that one. It's an excellent question. So initially, the why was a take on Simon Sinek's, which you presented last week, and the self, others, and universe. It's the various stages of, or the various tiers one has. It's the relationship that you have with yourself, your knowing, your stance, who you are, what you believe in, what you value to the core. It's the seeds, like Richard Rudd mentions, the seed, the flower, the fruit. So to us, the values are the various seeds one plants, and the relationship you create, the personal relationship you create with those seeds. Whereas your why is, why do you want to nurture those seeds? What's important about those seeds? What flower begins to shoot from those? And then legacy are the various, it's your greater relationship, the relationship beyond self and other.
Thank you.
Want to continue, or?
Yeah. The other piece that we're playing with is, so this is kind of our current thoughts, and that's why we really are curious to get your thoughts and feedbacks as a group. So in terms of the self, others, and universe dimension and the relationship with that, action research has a very heavy tradition, or a grounded tradition of first person inquiry, looking at yourself, and then a second person looking at your immediate relationship with others, your immediate world, and then third person inquiry, linking with the universe or the broader world. And so that's why we thought that really that first stage of first person inquiry is really around looking at what, as Anna said, what do you value? What do you fundamentally believe in? What's important to you? And then what springs from that is your why. Why do you engage with the immediate people around you? What is the purpose you're trying to shape, and the life that you're trying to bring to your existence, your essence, in that sense, is the thinking. And of course then that cascades out to the third person, which of course is the broader universe. What else do people see in this, or questions?
I'm thinking about a small child being born in the left corner with a set of values that has been maybe imposed to you, and then you start your life growing, learning, responding, and maybe there are elements around this response that I don't really know where to put in this and I'm struggling a little bit about the legacy word, because I do understand that the legacy of the stories we built in our life, at some point that physical life ends or becomes a different way of being, and this legacy then back, and what have you learned during that lifetime you were here, you know? So for me, it's quite a big thing, actually. It's the story of a life. That's what I'm thinking when I'm seeing this, and it's actually quite wonderful.
Absolutely. It's a story of a life, and it's a story you're in right now.
Yeah.
You're reading it every day.
What I see in it is, on the one hand, you've got the purpose on the left-hand side. That is something like, almost like a fractal, like a set of DNA. And every cell in trillions of cells in my body, I have all the chromosomes in that cell, but they are not all manifesting in that cell. Some of them are in my eye, some in my nose, some in my liver, and whatever. But so this is how I see the lines now, how that purpose manifests itself through my values, through my engagement with others, through my engagement with the universe. And my set of chromosomes are unique. None of you have got it. You know, there's something, and all of us have got a unique set. And that for almost means my purpose. Every cell in my body's purpose is to express the genes that was there in the DNA of my body. I don't know whether I'm now making sense or nonsense.
It's sometimes the creation of sense requires a bit of a dash of nonsense as well in terms of exploration. I think it's it's beautiful. I think the other thing we tried to capture in this is really the notion that as your life and you grow from those seeds to a flower to a tree, really the tree represents resilience, because you have the notion of the tree growing down and having roots that really nourish it and give it stability and strength, and at the same time you have the tree which moves with the seasons, with the winter and the spring and the sun and the rain and all of that. So you have this combination of being grounded with resilience and being able to adapt to a changing environment, which is what we've tried to capture in this as well.
Okay, the time for speed dating.
Time for speed dating.
Yes. So how on earth is speed dating related to this? Well, it's not related at all. However, for a speed dating event to be successful, you have to really tap into all your senses, especially your gut instinct, your intuition. You don't know what the outcome is. And hopefully at the end of the event, you have a list of contacts that you can perhaps choose from, but who are you going to call? How do you know? How do you make that decision? So with that, we're going to invite you to do a very brief round of speed dating with your values. So you're going to be speed dating with your intuition. We're going to display a matrix of values, 44 of them, and we're going to give you only 30 seconds to pick 3. Oh, let me rephrase that. You aren't going to pick 3. We want 3 values to choose you.
Mm-hmm. Anna?
So yeah?
I was going to say, you can't share your screen inside the breakout rooms. So could we maybe all look at the...
No. Yeah, that's okay. We're going to get you to choose your 3. And once you have them, we'll go into breakout rooms. So great. Thank you, Celine. Yes, so you have one job. The first value that jumps out at you, that chooses you, write it down. Take another glance at the screen, write down the second. third glance, write it down. I invite you to not think. Let those values jump out and pick you. So if everyone has a pen, that's great. It does help. And I am going to see if I can do this quickly. I'm also going to set a timer. You don't have a timer on hand, do you, Jim?
Yeah,
I do.
For 45 seconds.
No! Okay, 40 seconds.
Okay.
40 seconds. Okay, ready? Don't think. Ready? Go.
Three seconds. And time.
Okay, so with Jim, did you want to give them breakout room instructions or?
Yeah, so with that, we like, okay, speed dating, but we're going to add a twist, and we're going to get, since we're 9, we're going to do threesomes. So,
No
Celine,
pun intended.
yes. Celine, could you put us into 3 breakouts? Thanks.
So before you go in, the instructions now are to share the 3 values that chose you. And how do these 3 values support your purpose? Why are they important to you at this point in life right now? Okay.
Is everyone okay with the exercise?
Yeah.
I'll send the question once you're in the room as a reminder.
Okay,
Excellent.
perfect.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, have fun. All right, hello, we're back. How was that?
Yeah, it was very good. Very good.
Yeah, really good. I feel quite empowered already and excited after just like 2 minutes of talking about our values.
I was reminded that I'm a rebel because I didn't choose 3. Because the 4th one's is free spirit.
Yes. Go, free spirits, go.
Yeah, me too.
So did anyone experience a value that came up for them that they didn't really land with immediately? Like they were surprised by the value that chose them.
Yeah, the 3rd one for me, which was justice, and I'm questioning it now because so much of my life that's been wanting to step in and be the arbiter, be the fair person. Because I'm a big guy, I'm 6'3", and I was the guy that would pull the bully off from attacking a smaller kid when I was at school, and I'd step in. You know, I got into trouble once for stopping a mother lifting its child by the ear on a ferry in San Francisco, and called the police because I interfered. She said, "It's not your child." I said, "It's in my space. It's my child." And so, but now I'm wondering whether justice is so much relevant for me. It's more to do with what's my own journey. When I inquired, and Anna and Sharon helped me, I'm starting to let go of that and trust that there's a time to step in sometimes, but there's also a karmic truth about everybody's journey. That was the surprise one for me.
That's interesting. So these values that choose you, and they might be saying, hello. Maybe it's time to turn the volume down on this one and turn the volume up on something else.
To notice when one wants to, when it serves you to amplify one versus another. So I'm conscious of time, because we could probably spend the next 45 minutes talking about the values piece, but we're going to, in the spirit of speed dating, I'm going to demonstrate our next step, and then each one of you are going to take it. So first of all, I'm going to take my 3 values, and then from there, translate them into a 6-word legacy statement. And so my 3 values are courageous, free spirit, growth. And the way I've combined those into a legacy statement is a 6-word legacy statement is courageous, free spirit, focused on growth. So mine just happened to fit quite nicely into a sentence. Yours doesn't necessarily have to do that, but what we'd like you to do is now take your 3 values, and we're going to just take 2 minutes, and you're going to write a 6-word legacy, personal legacy statement. We'll do that in silence, and then we're going to share them.
So before we go into that, let's just take a moment. Let's close our eyes.
Good, sorry, Anna. Yeah.
And take those 3 values as seeds and plant them within you, or discard one of them, plant them within you, and place a hand over where they've been planted. Ground yourself into those values. Why do they want to be further expressed in how you practice your purpose? And how you now ultimately want to express them through a value statement. Let's let the next 6 words that you are going to write come from that place within you. So grab a pen, and let's give everyone 3 minutes to write 6 words that expresses your value.
Not 7 words.
6, not 7 words, no. You can be a free spirit within the boundaries of 6 words.
You want us to type it in the chat box?
No, just write it down on paper, and then we'll all share afterwards.
About a minute to go.
This is quite a fun exercise.
And difficult.
Absolutely. Remember, this is just one story, one expression of legacy, of potentially many. So, shall we begin sharing? So, just to be conscious of time, let's each have a turn to just quickly share the 3 values that chose you. And without any further words, just your legacy statement. Perhaps I'll start just to break the ice and let those who haven't finished to finish up. So the 3 values that chose me were free spirit, forward the action, and knowledge. So the legacy statement I have today is let go of knowing and breathe. Who would like to go next?
That was beautiful. Celine.
Joy, growth, health. And my legacy statement, joyful growth in freedom and health.
Lovely. Who would like to go next?
I appoint Ash.
So my 3 were honesty, sharing, and spirituality. And my statement kind of just happened. Honesty and sharing feed my spirituality.
Send the ping pong across the table.
I pick Sharon.
Ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong.
There's another program, another joke. So my 3 words were adventure, compassion, and free spirit.
Nice.
And so I've got exploring new adventures with freedom and compassion.
Lovely.
So I'll choose Carly.
My 3 were integrity, joy, and accomplishment. My statement's not very creative, I'm afraid, but live my truth, integrity, joy, and accomplishment.
Lovely. Who do you nominate, Carly?
I nominate Jim.
Okay. So my 3 words are courageous, free spirit, and growth. And my statement is courageous, free-spirited, and focused on growth. And I nominate Philip.
My 3 were justice, honesty, and love. And I decided to let go of justice. So my statement is to live through honesty and love.
Wow. Beautiful.
That's really choking me up because that's hit the nerve of where I am at this point in my life. So
Beautiful, Philip. Beautiful.
Thanks, Philip.
Frederick?
My 3 values were, and I'm not quite sure, it's just connectedness and collaboration. I mean, those 2 together. The other one is self-expression and freedom. And the 3rd one is courage. Now, you can see that connectedness and collaboration is the opposite of self-expression. And the 3rd one is courage. So my purpose statement is to have the courage to practice the art of reconciliation.
Say it one more time, please.
The courage to practice the art of reconciliation. Now, reconciliation in my two values are these two opposites, but we find people in conflict and incompatibilities. I mean, that for me is the reason why we are on planet Earth, only to learn one thing is the ability to deal with incompatibility. So,
that's beautiful, Fritz. Really love that. Speaks to my heart.
Thank you.
John?
Yes, mine were integrity, health, and compassion. And I would say stay open-minded, healthy, compassionate, and compassionate to self and others.
Wow. I think that's...
I feel like we just did a half-day workshop, Jim. And
we're 2 minutes over. That's not bad.
yeah, that's good.
3 days to 30 minutes. Yeah, well, thank you for all of you for truly showing up and juggling values that you may not have initially have chosen. Had you been given that matrix 10 minutes to look at, or choose values that you may already be grounded in, a different legacy statement would come up. And this was to sort of invite a value that may not be showing up as much as it needs to show up, or perhaps a value that needs to be let go of. Allow others to shine.
I was actually wondering because I was once I picked those 3 ones, and I was then searching for the value trust, and I couldn't find it. And I was just thinking,
reason it's not there.
Why isn't it there? Yeah, that was a puzzle to me, sort of. So I was, it was still. So while you're saying it, yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I didn't want you to look for it. That's why it wasn't there. And I almost took love out. Anyway, that concludes our time. So thank you for showing up.
Thank you very much for
Thank you very
sharing.
much.
Thank you for the love and the honesty, and the collaboration. That makes me very joyful, and I feel like I'm growing. So I feel like my values are being lived through these 45 minutes on a Thursday. Yeah.
And I really found self-expression through collaboration. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. And a big hug to you, Philip.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's give Philip a hug.
Yes, big hug.
Gratefully received.
Thank you.
I'm back to
We'll see you next week.
Yes.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Nobody wants to leave.